There can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? For the union makes us strong. We will always be united, for the union makes us strong.
And therefore, they can't keep on saying that we are ready for engagement on the media, or on the funerals, or in political rallies, when you're not seeing any letter of that matter. The same thing, the CS Labour cannot suspend or call off strike for doctors or for any other union. There are laid down labour regulations that a strike will be suspended or called off by the Secretary General of the particular unions. So our strikes are on. The other thing is, I think today we were invited by the CS Labour to discuss how to bring the government back on table, because government has been on strike. They walked out of a negotiation. And you walk out of negotiation when you have no plans to implement the issues that have been presented before you, or when you don't understand it. So it means that the people from government that you are sitting with were rudderless, were planless, and they did not understand the issues, or they were not decision makers. That could have led to their walking out. And as they do that, I keep saying, they have said that they can fire doctors, they can import them. We've seen from that evidence from the KMPDC today, this is a report of today, that out of all the foreign doctors that were imported to help manage the patients at Kenya University Teaching and Referral Hospital, Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Council has given a report today that all of them failed except one. That is a clear indication of the risk that are giving to those particular patients. So the more they delay, the more people suffer, because it is them who walked out, it is them who have the powers to call for the meetings. For us, is to stay on strike and stay at home. We cannot do any harm to any patients when you're at home. You only do harm to a patient before you.
The government has no good faith in terms of implementing any agreement. And in any case, a declaration that the people who are probably the advisors of the government demonstrate some gaps in terms of competency. I don't know whether to say it ineptitude or I don't know how to say it, but that is a declaration that you have you bargain, you agree, then implementation become a problem. We have all policies, we have Act of Parliament. The issue is about implementing the agreement. The issue is about implementing policies. Yes. Now we have people talking in everywhere, including Matangas, but coming back to implement policies that they are putting in place become a problem.
They don't understand.
It cannot be that we continue suspending our problem today, thinking that it will be better tomorrow. It is worsening, and it is going to continue worsening. And for sick people, and as healthcare workers, we don't postpone our problems. We treat our patient immediately. So it is upon the government to utilize the resources they have to act on our issues as healthcare staff.
The way the government has been talking, it means that there's nobody who understands these issues of healthcare. I think it's higher time that they have a clear task force to look into this workforce issue that our workers that has failed to be handled for over the years. Because we saw they did one for education, we have seen one for security, we have seen one for prison, and they give actual implementable frameworks. Like they said, ECD need to get out from counties back to the national. I think if we have such a task force, it will really it will make many of the people in government understand the issues that are ailing healthcare. Rather than always just wishing it away, say there's no money, saying that these things are for counties, these things are for national, yet we are all paying tax, which goes to one basket, treasury, and we are all Kenyans, for that matter.
Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. We will never be divided, for the union makes us strong.
Viva unions, viva!
Viva!
Long live unions, long live!
Long live!
Thank you.
Thank you. Solidarity forever, solidarity forever, for the union makes.
As KMPDU and other civil societies, we've already proceeded to court against the defamatory action and statement that was released yesterday. So I think as a union and as the civil societies will serve the AG onto that, because the IG on that because he can't contravene the constitution. Everybody, every Kenyan is below the constitution, and we are all up to comply. On the flip side, I want to say that the government is the one on strike. All these public health sector unions, KMPDU, KUKO, and KUMLO, we are all been saying we are ready to meet, but it's the government that has continuously been on strike. And to make it worse, we saw in Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, where the hospital decided to import doctors or to import consultants. Today, in the interview that was being done by KMPDC or by Medical Council, all the doctor foreigners that were brought in failed the test, except one. It means that this craft, these specialties that doctors are offering in the different hospitals, the craft that they have mastered over time, they cannot be replaced by picking doctors or picking people on the street or picking quacks everywhere. So it means that when the government is trying to threaten us, they're actually risking the lives of patients. Yes. And we do not know to what extent these doctors who are engaged to TRH risk those particular patients that they are having. So it's very clear, they should know that by the time they're taking ad stands that we have to suspend our strikes before we engage, it is Kenyans who are suffering. Yes. They should also know that it took the Cubans 2 years to be able to practice in Kenya. It is not that easy. And as KMPDU, as all the unions, we have said that there's no amount of threats, no amount of victimizations or intimidation that will make us suspend this particular strike. We will have to sit and have a return to work agreement that actually spells out protections of the collective bargaining agreement that was signed. There's no any other way out of it. They may fire all of us as they have alluded. They may kill all of us. They may try to sack all of us. But we keep on saying that there's nothing other than negotiation that will make it possible to suspend these strikes. Also, what is more valuable is that Kenyans pay taxes to the government. They don't pay taxes to the doctors or to the health workers. And therefore, there's no way government will say that health workers are essential service providers, but in the budget, we are not anywhere. It is important that for these strikes to end, there has to be priority for health workers, and there's priority for the Kenyans. So this cannot be negotiated.
Power! Comrade, power!
Power!
Thank you. I want to say categorically that we, as the representative of the clinical officers and the healthcare workers as a team, we are determined to ensure that we can take the health sector to the next level in terms of the changes that we want. We are not willing to relent. If anyone is thinking that by using the government machinery to continue intimidating healthcare workers and sending condescending statement to the media or releasing press, trying to instill fear to the public that we will change, we are not going to change. I think what we are saying is that everything that we have presented to the government in our strike notice are all of them achievable. And in any case, one way or the other, they are in their own blueprints. So we are only asking them to meet their end of promises and also bargain, because we have agreement with them. Now, if they are not willing to implement what they promised Kenyan to enhance services, so we want to say categorically that we are not going to relent. Specifically, the AG statement, which is actually following up a statement by the Kindiki last week, which they are trying to intimidate and cover us that we should not go for protest. We are saying we are not contemners of any court order, and we have not breached any constitution article on the constitution. If there is any, they will have mentioned. So stop fabricating and sending information that are lies.
We have a court order of 8th November 2023 directing them to come to the table. A conciliation committee of 3 conciliators was put in place. They never appeared. And the CS Labour is being insincere because she put up a conciliatory committee that invited us last week on Thursday. The government has never appeared. So basically, who is on strike here?
Government.
It's the government that is on strike. We are ready and willing to come to the table even now, but the government is just lying to Kenyans. I don't know the reason as to why they want us to continue being on strike, because actually they are the ones who are pushing this strike. They are the ones who are protracting this strike. But we want to assure them we are there for the long haul.
I know we'll be joined by our sisters and brothers in the nurses. We're going to be the clinical officers, the laboratory technicians, and the doctors. We will be going down from the park to Ministry of Health and to the Parliament and then to COG. We will even be joined by morticians. So we will not relent. We will not relent. We will be on the streets. If there's any law against vuvuzelas and whistles, we need to be ready for. And we need to take it to court, not just writing statements. Tumeona kuwa madaktari ambao waliletwa na KUTTRH, Australia Kenyatta University Teaching and Referral Hospital, ambao walipelekwa katika council kufanywa interview. Kati yao wote mmoja tu ndiye amepita. Hiyo ni ishara kuwa hiyo hospitali ya KUTTRH iko hali ya ku threaten or rather to endanger, kuhatarisha maisha ya wagonjwa. Kwa hivyo ni muhimu wakati wanasema kuna mazungumzo, wajue kwa hawezi enda huko nje kuokota madaktari kuja kuhatarisha maisha ya wananchi. Hiyo ni hatia.
Tumesema na tumetamka kwa kauli moja kwamba yale matamshi ambayo yametolewa na kiongozi wa polisi ambaye ni IG tumeyakemea kabisa, kwa sababu yanakiuka katiba na ametengeneza information ama ameweza kutangaza masuala ambaye sisi tunaona kwamba ni ile tunaweza kusema amefungua kutueleza kwamba kuna mpango ya kutuatake sisi tukifanya demonstration. Na amesema kwamba sisi tukilala njiani tukitumia vuvuzera na zile vipulizi eti tunafanya kelele, tunamsumbua mgonjwa na tunasumbua Wakenya. Lakini kama polisi wanatakiwa kwamba wako na hiyo report. Hajasema kama mgonjwa yoyote ama hospitali yoyote ilifanya report katika police station yoyote. Hiyo haiko. La pili, yeye badala ya kusema kwamba ameshakamata wale ambao wanapanga kuja kuandamana nasi kwa ajili ya kufanya vurumai ama kulete vita, yeye anatuambia kwamba amejua hiyo iko. Angesema ameshika Gibore, ameshika Davji, ameshika Washira, wale ambao wanataka kuja kufanya vita wakati ambapo tunaandamana. Hiyo ndiyo kutekeleza sheria, sio kuja kututishia wakati ambapo sisi tunatekeleza wajibu wetu kisheria. Tunatekeleza wajibu wetu kisheria kuandamana na kuhimiza serikali kuweza kufanya yale ambayo wamewaahidi wa Kenya. Basi tumesema kwamba kesho tutakuwa kwenye hiyo barabara ambayo sisi tunalipa taksi kutengenezwa, na pia tutaenda katika maofisi za serikali kuwaambia kwamba wako na ahadi na Wakenya kwa ajili ya kuboresha afya, sekta yetu ya afya ya umma nchini.
The issues of the new collective bargaining agreement, the issues of postgraduate, the issues of interns, those are issues that have not been implemented. In fact, what they have proceeded to do is to violate this collective bargaining agreement by reducing the wages of the interns as has been negotiated. So that's so far what they've done. So as we say we need to talk, they're already violating the same collective bargaining agreement. But there's no governor in this entire country that has implemented the CBA of 2017-2021, the elements that we are demanding for. And almost 90% of them have not done even the promotions, the medical insurance, all those things are pending. And if there's anyone done, they will have presented that to us, but none has presented. What you've seen is them talking in media. Threats. No, baseless threats and theatrics. We have a demonstration tomorrow, and from tomorrow midnight they'll be joining. In fact, we have a mega doctors' assembly on Wednesday, where all the doctors across the country, the consultants and all, will be coming to reinforce and reiterate their commitments on this. And this now will be all the sector. Yes, and because that will be commencing after tomorrow. The deadline of the notice that they gave is tomorrow. So after tomorrow on Wednesday we have a mega assembly where all doctors will be coming, and we have to reiterate this particular commitment.